Okay, so let's see here project milestone. So what is project milestone? So why project milestones are necessary? Once the project milestones are the main factors, like main deployment things like deployment plan approved, build plan approved, customer provision. So you can see these are different milestones here. And what is beneficial, like what benefits we get after achieving the milestone is that if we achieve the milestone prioritized to our deadline, we can get different benefits, like we can get our payments or we can get bonuses for that. So there are different milestones, and it is very necessary to achieve a milestone in a proper amount of duration, like whatever the duration. You can see here it's mentioned that duration is there, start date is there, end date is there. So during this, when you provide a duration, that is a deadline for each milestone. So you have to give a start date and end date. So here are different milestones, that is deployment plan approved. How the deployment plan will be there, it should be duration should be there. And then after approving means all the deployment plan approved comes into first milestone. Then the build plan approved, how the build is done about the project. So this will come under build plan approved. Third is customer provisioned with license. This is with a license. So the customer provision with license is the third milestone that needs to be achieved. Then the customer build plan done. So this is very important for the customer build plan done. That is the milestone 4. That is like for customer the build plan is done and the environment test plan is completed. So it is here we say that the end date is for testing is 1 week. So environment test plan, when the build plan is done, that is when the milestone 4 is achieved, we go for 5, that is testing. And then M6 is start deployment of EC2 and WordPress. So after that we'll test that. So this is milestone 6 and 7. After deployment we'll test that, then end the deployment. After ending the deployment, here the number of hours, the number of weeks are given, like how the test should be done. The it's for the time plus 4 hours, that is the test for deployment. And the end of deployment given a week. And the customer go live. So go live means when everything is fixed, when it is stabilized, the project goes on to live, people start using that. That is the milestone number 9, which is achieved. It will take a time of 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks we'll see how the project is there, and after that the completion of project, the whole project is being deployed. That means our WordPress site is ready, it's ready to use, and it doesn't have any bugs, and all the fixes and stabilization is done. So this is how a project milestone is achieved. You should be specific about the milestone, the description of that, that what are you like what are you providing as a milestone. You can't just randomly name anything. You should be very specific in making a milestone and achieving that, and giving a duration, a start date, and end it to it. So this is how project milestone is done. Now, talking about project risk. So what is project risk? So you can see there are n number of risks, and how the risk comes, like it will come with time. So if we have a risk now, maybe it is mitigated, it is over, but we have a risk tomorrow too. So first risk we have seen, that is internet stability and speed. So what mitigation is that? Post implementation UAT factored. So after the user acceptance test factored, we can see this how to mitigate that after post implementation. So probability and impact should be given for this. So it's medium, both of them. And deployment issues may come into picture. While this is the risk that we can talk about, this is deployment issues. It is proper project management from Techpledge. So the mitigation is done by a proper project management from Techpledge. The next risk is access and approvals. All the necessary requirements to be fulfilled by the customer. So impact may be high, and it is high, as it is necessary to like meet all the requirements. It should be fulfilled by the customer. So this is our mitigation to access and approvals. So resource availability, plan the same before the project kickoff. As we have seen different phases, before a project kickoff phase, we need to know that resource availability is there. All the resources are being available. The probability is medium. but impact can be high if the resources are not available. So if we say that load balancer is not available, then no high availability will be there. So we should know all the resources, all the services should be available, and then before kicking off starting of the project, the plan should be done. So COVID-19 impact, as COVID is still going on, since the deployment of cloud, it can execute remotely as COVID is there and everything is online. So yes, we are going with cloud, and we are using AWS. So proposed solution was that only, that it should execute remotely. So probability is high if this risk is there, and impact is medium. So as we have cloud for a mitigation, and as project risk comes, we find out the ways of mitigation, we see its probability, we see its impact. This is how project risk overall explains. Next is RACI Matrix. So RACI stands for responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed matrix. So what are roles you are going to see? Also there is a S we can take. S is for support. So what roles are here? Client side stability, which means considering the internet, operating system, viruses, we see here Techpledge is informed, but the responsibility is of customer. So it's a client side stability. The roles is prerequisite. So Techpledge is informed and the responsibility is of customer. For prerequisite, obviously we should know the customer is responsible, he will give us the prerequisites. So implementation, responsibility is of Techpledge, it will be planning out, but support will be from the customer. Access and approvals, Techpledge will be informed, but responsibility will be of customers because they are going to access and approve it. Second, last is resource availability. Third last feat role is, and then it is responsibility of the Techpledge to make the available resources and informed by customer. Documentation, it is consulted by customer, and then responsibility is of documentation. And then the last is sign off. Yes, it is informed by Techpledge and the responsibilities of customer. So this is how a RACI matrix should be found. First, you should know the roles, like what you are going for, what is important here. So these roles are being fixed, and you need to create that. You need to prepare the roles, what actually it helps, and then RACI matrix will help us to know what the customer and the client side and our seller side, what the RACI matrix, who is responsible, who is informed, who is accountable, who is consulted. So this is how RACI matrix works. Next is project artifacts. So what comes under project artifacts?